Uh, Greetings, YouTubers and live videoers. It's me, Wayman29, and I just came on. I was reading my Biblical Archaeology Review magazine today, and I came across an interesting comparison that I didn't even know existed. And I've read these stories lots of times. I just got home from work. Long day's work, so I'm having a beer, and if I get a little tipsy, you can point it all out and put it in the comments, because there may be some screw-ups. At any rate, there's an interesting comparison going on with Gilgamesh, the Epic of Gilgamesh from ancient Mesopotamia and the old Babylonian, and then there was cuneiform tablets with the Epic of Gilgamesh on them from a later or earlier date. So you have New Babylon, Old Babylon, and what they did was they took these texts and they compared them and made the Epic of Gilgamesh. So they filled in the blanks, so to speak, because a lot of the tablets were busted up. So we're going to be comparing an episode in Gilgamesh to an episode in the Iliad, which was a great story, older than the biblical text, and told through memory until it was written down, and it's beautiful. And we're going to compare that to the novella of the Joseph story. Beautiful story, one of the many novellas in the Bible, or novels. The story of Ruth is one of these. The story of Judith, it's a really great read, but it's not in the Protestant Bible. Judith ends up using her beauty to behead the Syrian king, and put his head in her pocketbook, walk back to the city that was surrounded, and showing the elders of the city the king, their oppressor's head. It's a beautiful story. So we'll take the story of Joseph, compare it to all that. And what's interesting that I didn't even know about is that in all three of these accounts, women, don't jump all over me for this one. It's not my fault. It's in the literature. Women want to sleep with the guy. The guy, being more honourable, rebuffs her or runs away, and she gets the guy in big trouble. So first we go to Book 6 in the Iliad. Book 5 is a great read. It's all slice and dice. Book 6, not sure. It's like line 168, I believe. I don't have lines here in my little program here, but for Antea, wife of Proteus, Protus, lusted after him, and would have had him lie with her in secret, but Bellerophon was an honourable man, and would not. So she told lies about Proteus. Proteus, said she, kill Bellerophon or die, for he would have had converse with me against my will. So he doesn't sleep with her. She says he tried to rape her. Then you go to Genesis 39:7, where Joseph is in the house of his Egyptian master. And after a time, his master's wife cast her eyes on Joseph and said, lie with me. But he refused and said to his master's wife, look with me here, My master has no concern about anything in the house, and he has put everything that he has in my hand. He is not greater in this house than I am, nor has he kept anything from me except yourself, because you are his wife. How then could I do this great wickedness and sin against God? So, you know the story. She grabs a hold of his garment. Lie with me. But he left his garment in her hand and fled and ran outside. So, she cries, the Hebrew servant whom you have brought among us came in to insult me, but as soon as I raised my voice and cried out, he left his garment beside me and fled outside. When the master heard these words that his wife spoke to him, saying, this is the way your servant treated me, he became enraged. So there you have a comparison of that story to the Iliad. Now you go to Gilgamesh. This is a really good read because Ishtar, she says, Gilgamesh, I love you. And he rebuffs her. She gives this big long speech. It's a beautiful speech. It's in tablet 6 of the Epic of Gilgamesh, I believe. I'm not sure which one it was. Hang on, I can find out. Yeah, tablet 6. So this is Gilgamesh. I'm not sure what he's doing here, but alright, he's getting freshened up here. He washed his filthy hair, he cleaned his gear. He took out his locks over his back. He threw away his dirty clothes and put on fresh ones. He clothed himself in robes and tied a sash. Gilgamesh put his crown on his head, and Ishtar, the princess, raised her eyes to the beauty of Gilgamesh. Come to me, Gilgamesh, and be my lover. Bestow on me the gift of your fruit. And then what's awesome, Gilgamesh made his voice heard and spoke. He said to Ishtar, the princess, what could I give you if I possess you? I would give you body oil and garments. I would give you food and substance. Could I provide you with bread fit for gods? Could I provide you with ale fit for kings? And he goes on. Sorry. But he totally dissed her. Totally dissed her because he was like, how will you treat me any different than any other guy that you were with? You listened as he said this, and you hit him and turned him into a frog, let him to stay amid the fruits of his labors, but the pole goes no more, his bucket goes down no more. And how about me? Will you love me and then treat me just like them? So here Gilgamesh, he's part god himself. He's talking to a goddess, and he totally blows her off. And Ishtar heard this. Ishtar was furious and went up to heaven. Ishtar went up and wept before her father Anu. Her tears flowed before her mother Antu. A-N-T-U. Anu is the father. Antu is the mother. Father, Gilgamesh has shamed me again and again. Gilgamesh spilt out to me my dishonor and my disgrace. Anu made his voice heard and spoke. So, it's kind of humorous, but there you have it. The Gilgamesh story would be older than the Iliad. Then the Iliad would come, and then the story of Joseph. I just want to bring up, there's this beautiful line in the story of Joseph that seems to be one of my favorite, where the Pharaoh Jacob blesses the Pharaoh. And the Pharaoh just asked him, how many are the years of your life? And Jacob said to the Pharaoh, this is a beautiful response, the years of my earthly sojourn are 130. Few and hard have been the years of my life. They do not compare with the years of my life of my ancestors during their long sojourn. So from that statement, you just get this powerful sense of just wandering out in the desert and being exposed to, you can picture all these elements. I'm letting my imagination get away from me, but I could see that, see that happening. And there's a text, I believe it's in Psalms, where was it? 24? I'll get it here. Sorry. Psalms 25. Do not remember the sins of my youth or my transgressions, according to your steadfast love. Remember me for your goodness' sake, O Lord. Do not remember the sins of my youth or my transgressions. It's pretty interesting when Jacob says, he says, the years of my earthly sojourn, few and hard have been the years of my life. And when you think about it that way, it's pretty interesting. And also, if you compare that to the text in Job, and I'm kind of wandering here, but text in Job 13:26. For you write bitter things against me, and make me reap the iniquities of my youth. That's Job, where he puts God on trial, and he's accusing God of all these, Yahweh, of all these terrible things. And if anybody gets a chance, go and read the response. It's one of the best speeches of Yahweh in the biblical text, his response from the whirlwind. So, hope you enjoyed this little talk and a relaxing beer with Al. Hopefully you all have a good day, and thanks for watching.